Welcome to Talk to Me. I'm Esther Mills. Our guest is Nishan Patel, New York City illustrator and designer. Tell us about your background and how you got started as an artist.
Okay, well, my love of art came at a very young age. I was about 4 years old, still remember it. We were living in India, and one of my uncle's friends, he was an artist and a craftsman, and I remember him drawing peacocks, elephants, and I was just amazed. It was the first time I actually saw someone draw, and he taught me the basics, and I think the first thing I drew from life was a turtle that was around our area. And I've just been hooked on it ever since. So I went to Syracuse University in the VPA program, Visual and Performing Arts, and I got a bachelor in illustration. And it's just a wonderful experience, those 4 years. I still miss it. The best part, I think, was just being with my friends and having a studio space with my fellow illustrators, because it was basically a fairly small room, but with all our desks and all our art supplies, and we would work there. And you have other creative people your age that you can bounce ideas off of. And
There's
so
an energy force that feeds the room.
Yeah, and then once you get out of that, it's a little tough, but we still stay in touch, and if we're working on a big project, we'll still share with each other.
Very nice. How do you make a living as an illustrator?
Well, right now I'm doing freelance, and I actually finished up one project for a local musician, Sean Yorks, and I'll be showing it in a little bit. He's in tour in Germany right now, and so that was for album work and a logo design for him. And I've also had a chance to work on other projects for logos for other New Jersey, New York-based companies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
On your website, you say that you idolize Peter Parker.
Oh.
Who is Peter Parker? Is that Superman?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's another.
That was one of those characters.
That's another passion I've had for a while. About 5 or 6, I started reading Spider-Man comics, and it's just always a good message. I love strong characters, and that's kind of what I like to show in my work. Just the face or the personality really gets to me. And I think in comic books, there's always a lot of action and stuff, but always in Spider-Man, it seemed to be more about fighting and stuff. It was more about the character.
You have a variety of categories.
Yes.
Of your artwork.
Yeah, I've actually brought a hodgepodge of work that I could show and briefly give an overview of.
Well, show us.
Sure. Well, one of them is kind of more of maybe a realistic, but something that's kind of more heavier. To me, art is like cooking. You have like all of these ingredients and all of these things that you can use at your disposal, but it's like how to properly use them and to give the viewer or the reader what they want. And for this is a story that I came up with about 7 or 8 months ago, and I'm looking into making this into a graphic novel. And
that seems to be very popular these days.
Yes,
those graphic novels.
Yes, it's getting pretty popular. And the story, what I wanted to show with this is that it could be set anywhere, maybe in Texas or Africa or Alaska. I wanted the moral to, not just have to do with one place. I chose India because over there are religious tensions as well as
and
sexual
the buildings
preferences.
look more like India.
Yes, yes. And I never really like to say exactly what my pieces are about, but I'll give a brief thing. This right here is a Muslim woman and a Hindu woman, and they look at each other across the room. And they're running towards each other, and you can see the members of their town kind of, angry or confused of why they're doing that. And then in the last panel, they embrace, and then you see the reaction shot of the people, the villagers. And I always like to hear what people have to say about this. You always get mixed reviews. Some agree with them, but some agree with them too. So it's always, it always brings up a dialogue and a conversation. And I have a couple of other examples that stem from that. This I actually got to do in Florence, Italy, and it was on display in a small gallery. And this is something that we kind of tend to overlook. It's a beggar, a street beggar. And this is hand screen printed.
And what is the like? It looks like almost like a gunshot in his head,
Oh,
or a scar, or
no,
something.
that's actually a bindi. It's in our religion, Hindu religion.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he
All
could,
right.
yeah, just a sign of one of the religions. And this is just a little mini story that I came up with, and this is just a section off of it. And I kind of wanted to put a realistic juxtaposed with more of a dreamland thing. So she's kind of just dreaming. I also like to do, other political things, and this is on spousal abuse and domestic violence. And it was in the running.
So you're kind of like the controversial person. You create. It seems like you create controversy with your artistic work.
That's the thing. This type of stuff I love to do, but it is heavy and it can get to be a little too much.
For you or for the people who see
it? Maybe both, but for me too. I like to have fun also. I don't like to be kind of gloomy all the time. So that's why I actually have another kind of
So this is
way of
your
working.
serious work.
Yeah, my serious work. And then with that, I like to do kind of more, more free, more fun stuff. And this is actually from the show Lost, and it's the cast. And
I was wondering because I saw the airplane, and I was like, this isn't 9/11, is it?
Oh no.
This is the show Lost.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a big fan of the show.
That's pretty serious too.
It is, but it allows me to have more fun. The characters are already there. The people who view it, they kind of already know what the story's about. And so it's just fun. And
are you a big Lost fan?
Yeah, I am. It's last season's coming up, and I want to know all the answers to it. I'm excited for the finale. And I also do kind of more fun caricatures. This is B.J. Novak from The Office. He's a stand-up comedian and a writer. So and I like to show the personalities of the characters that I'm doing, not just the faces. And this is Hugh Jackman. I think he has a great range. It's funny, he does someone as flamboyant as Peter Allen, the boy from Oz, but he also does someone as dark as Wolverine. So it's just a fun combination of putting the two characters together. And I've also had a chance to work on some CDs. This one didn't get printed, but it's just a mock-up. This is of the band She and Him. It's fronted by Zooey Deschanel, who was in 500 Days of Summer recently. Really good movie if you have a chance to see it. And
So you entered this into a contest?
Yeah, I didn't make it, but it's just something to try out. And I really love their music, one of my favorite bands. And what their stories are about is kind of relationships, ups and downs, and so I kind of wanted to do the first time they met. So a little abstraction and simple colors. But I did have the chance to actually work with Sean Yost, as I stated earlier. And he did like my design, and we went forth with it. And he's currently on tour in Germany, and the final product.
You went forth with his, you entered it into a contest, or?
Oh, he contacted,
uses it right now.
Yeah. So this is actually the album cover, and he wanted something really simple and just a portrait of himself, really light. He loves earth tone colors, so I put that in there. And then he also wanted a logo. He wasn't exactly too sure, but his music is very kind of spiritual and kind of out there. You certainly get a feeling for it when you listen to it. And so I kind of just did a guitar. This is the acoustic guitar he plays, and kind of detached hands to give that kind of spiritual feel to it. I'm also working on logos too, and this is from an up-and-coming volleyball association, the New Jersey Volleyball Association. And the client wanted New Jersey to be the main focus of it, but also to have a historical feel to it as well.